What's up guys, today I want to talk about Solar Integrated Roofing Corp. This is an OTC stock with the ticker SIRC. The company will soon confirm its name change to Solar EV. This is a penny stock that I've been covering on the channel for more than a year, but I have not made a video about this in way too long. SIRC has had some good news in recent weeks, and the stock has been performing very well, having rallied from just 12 cents up to a 52-week high of 65 cents. I will try to keep this video as short as possible, but squeeze in as much detail as possible. So I will look at the latest company presentation for August 2022, the latest earnings report, and later I will look at expectations for the next earnings report, as well as recent news and the charts to see if I can find you a good entry point. If you appreciate the effort and you do enjoy my videos and want me to create regular updates, then can I ask you to smash the like button? I'm aiming to get 200 likes on this video. Help me achieve that goal. It literally costs you nothing, but it helps me out so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video. I want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Now let's get into it. If you're new to this company, then check out my other SIRC videos on the channel where I go into detail about the company and the management team. But basically, Solar Integrated Roofing Corp is an integrated single-source solar power, roofing systems and EV charger installation company, specializing in residential and commercial properties nationally. Over the past 2 years, they have expanded rapidly, and they now have more than 10 brands as part of the SIRC family across several different divisions of the business. When we look at the stock over the past month, we can see that it has been on a huge rise. This is not surprising at all for a number of reasons, which I will look at later in this video. First of all, there has been anticipation recently about Joe Biden signing the new climate, healthcare and tax bill into law. As part of this, the bill allocates more than $300 billion to be invested in energy climate reform. It's the largest federal clean energy investment in US history, so naturally enough this is huge. It includes $60 billion for boosting renewable energy infrastructure in manufacturing like solar panels and wind turbines, and includes tax credits for electric vehicles and measures to make homes more energy efficient. So this is going to have a huge effect on the renewable energy industry, and there will be a lot of companies looking to get a slice of this. Now let's look at the company's latest investors presentation for August. So the company is positioning itself as a one-stop shop, offering alternative energy solutions, integrated solar roofing, battery backup and EV charging to residential and commercial customers, with sustainable growth and a complementary business line that provides significant cross-selling opportunities. Solar Integrated Roofing Corp has a strong mergers and acquisitions focus, but in the past 6 months the company has also turned the corner from losses into being a profit-making company. And we can clearly see the vertical integration across the full customer lifecycle here, from roofing and electrical, solar, EV charging, microgrids and project financing. There is an entire range of complementary offerings and cross-selling opportunities for combinations of the company's products. On the next page of this presentation, we can see outlined some vital information. Not only solar systems become one of the most cost-competitive energy services in the market, but there is also strong demand, and when this is paired with federal and state level incentives for clean energy, this creates a fantastic opportunity. And we can see that the total addressable market is growing. The serviceable, available market is growing, but most importantly, the serviceable, obtainable market is growing massively and rapidly. This is vital as the company expands and becomes more competitive. More and more opportunities will become available to SIRC. And this is reflected here by the scale of the revenue growth. Just look at this, 17 million in 2020, 84 million in 2021, and an estimated $225 million for 2022. But we can see that economies of scale have contributed to Solar EV improving its margins the more they expand. I will look closer at these figures in a moment, and there is one thing that concerns me in the actual financials, so stick around for that. Guys, if you've watched this far into the video and you enjoy the content, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And check out my Twitter at PaulTInvesting to stay up to date. Even if you have subscribed to the YouTube channel, consider following me on Twitter, where I have called out huge runners in recent weeks before they have made huge gains, such as TBLT stock at 174 that ran to over $8, or VLCN stock, which is up over 70% in a couple of weeks. And of course, obviously, SIRC stock also. Now before I look at the financials, let's take a very quick look at the most recent news. After all, this stock did just go parabolic over the past few weeks. First, SIRC announced the introduction of an innovative new solar financing product to non-profit entities, which is funded through a JV with REPM and unlocks new commercial-scale solar opportunities for SIRC in a sector with minimal competition, securing approvals to install solar for 8 non-profits, with the potential to install 100 more in 2022 alone, so that is huge. But I think a huge sign of how far this company has come is the most recent news. SIRC is to provide solar storage and EV charging solutions to Hard Rock Hotel Properties Group. SIRC has partnered with Associated Energy Developers to assist with the development and financing of energy systems comprised of solar, battery storage and EV charging solutions for multiple existing Hard Rock Hotel locations, along with several planned future hotels, generating an estimated $55 million in sales for the initial portfolio, with an additional estimated $85 million in sales, for a total of up to an estimated $140 million in sales over the next 2 to 3 years, dependent upon the construction timelines of future hotels to be constructed. This is nearly 250 venues in more than 70 countries. This is really going to put SIRC on the map. $140 million in sales over the next 2 to 3 years. That's at least $50 million a year from just this one single contract. Remember the presentation just a moment ago? This is a company that had total revenue of just $17.3 million less than 2 years ago. So now $50 million from one contract is huge. They made $17.3 million of revenue in all of 2020. Yet in Q1 2022, there was quarter-over-quarter revenue growth of 682%, recording over $27 million of revenue. And the next earnings report is due to show more than $50 million for Q2, which I'll talk more about in a moment. They turned a net loss into a net profit, filed audited financial statements, which provides a level of legitimacy which is sometimes not seen with OTC pink sheet companies. But what's incredibly important, which I have not mentioned in this video so far, is that SIRC subsidiary, Plimco, was awarded a 5-year blanket purchase agreement with the US General Services Administration as part of the $5 billion in federal funds allocated in the Biden administration's infrastructure bill. They also signed a new pricing agreement with Enphase Energy, as well as with a Tier 1 global solar panel supplier. So this is huge. For anyone who doesn't know, Enphase is a $38 billion company and a major player in this industry. And they also secured a $45 million co-development agreement with Lux Power. Now, moving on to the financials, looking at the balance sheet. First of all, we can see that SIRC had total current assets of $71 million and total overall assets of $171 million. This is an increase of about 10% over the previous quarter, so this is good. Liabilities have also risen, again about 10%. But this is 10% of a much smaller number, so the company's financial position has improved. So let's consider this. This is an OTC pink sheet stock, and all things considered, this is a very strong balance sheet for an OTC company. Total equity is $97 million for a company with a market cap of only $212 million. And most importantly, this company is actually generating profits. Usually when you have a company that is growing this fast, especially on the OTC, they don't tend to be profitable. But SIRC Solar is actually improving its margins while expanding rapidly. Guys, if you're enjoying this video, then all I ask is that you smash that like button. It really does help more than you know. Looking at the income statement, we can see that they achieved revenue for the quarter of $26.9 million, achieved a gross profit of $11.2 million, and a net profit of $5.6 million. So SIRC are due to report their next financials very soon, and this is where I think a couple of risks could be. First of all, they need to continue to produce consistent margins. The gross profit ratio was around 41% in Q1 on $26 million, which is very good, and the net profit was over 21%, which is fantastic. They will need to achieve similar margins on $50 million revenue in Q2, and again on the yearly expected revenue of $225 million. This is very important and will have a major impact on the share price. But secondly, and this is a much bigger risk, a large portion of the company's assets is made up of goodwill, which is something that I hate to see. This could actually be written down at any time, and this would have a detrimental effect on the stock if that was to happen. The stockholder equity here is $97 million. Removing this completely would leave equity of pretty much zero, which is a horrible prospect. But as we can see here, goodwill is attributed to several business combinations, so it is unlikely to be written down to zero. But investors do need to be mindful of this. Everything that SIRC has been doing recently has been very positive, and the effects of this are clear, especially on the share price over the past month. When we look at the charts, we can see that the stock had been dropping for several months before ripping up again from just 17 cents up to 60 cents in the space of a few weeks. The stock had dropped to as low as 11 cents back in June, but this has been a remarkable gain recently. And looking closer over the past week, we can see that the stock had been moving down since Monday, but now appears to once again be on the uptrend over the past 2 days as we get closer to what should be a very positive earnings report. So guys, what did you think of that? Drop a comment and let me know what you think and what you expect to see over the coming weeks. Do you agree or disagree with anything that I have said? These videos give me a platform to share my opinions with you. Comment section allows you to share your opinions directly with me, so let me know what you think. But remember that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Remember to check out my Twitter @PaulTInvesting, and I'll see you in the next update video.